Hold on a sec. Sorry, everyone is freaking out. The boss is going to a big AI expo tomorrow, and just threw this video at me to show you. I'm not sure what it is, or why, but here goes.
Great, let's buckle our seatbelts. I'm going to rush through this. I've already done it too many times, and I know that it can go on if I'm not careful. I am trying to get endorsements from the best universities. And in order to do that, I want to analyze their data. But before they give me the data, they need to see me analyzing something relevant to them. So I found this online. This is the U.S. government's database, and it has a ton of information about different aspects of their whole education system. Here we go. For example, everything to do with attendance. Here's, by the way, is what I thought might appeal to them. Here's some areas. We could improve their school's performance, get more students, make more money, pay higher wages, have better retention, change their ethics, or improve their ethnic composition, lower the cost. This is just some of the things that schools want to do. And you can see they have, it goes on and on and on about all the possible data columns that we can look at. And I picked from them, I whittled it down to 100 different columns. And then I decided the first thing I was going to do is approach it from what I'm familiar with. That would be the matcher. Matching students with universities. This is to help the students, not to help the universities. Help a student find the best university. And it's a fairly large industry. There's in every town they have consultants who will try to help you get your growing kid into the best universities for them. And there's plenty of websites online. From what I can see, they're very good. But we must know that what I found so far from them is they're going to do the following. They're going to first they're going to do some filtering, and they're going to sort the stuff, and they're going to group it. Filter, sort, group, filter, sort, group, filter, sort, group. They're going to do this over and over and over again until you find, until your the student finds the right school. And then what I find happens afterwards is after they've given the list to that student, the student's going to be left with making a decision in their head. And that decision is going to go on something like, well, maybe I should spend more money, or maybe I can't afford that much money, or maybe I want to live on campus, or maybe I want to not go for such a great school, or maybe I can go to a better school. All these maybes are going to come into play after you get the data. And there is no tool to help you with this maybe, except for my tool. Let's take a look. Here we go. I fed them into my stringy. And here's the data. And let's take a look. Here's the columns I chose, just for this one example, because I'm really in a hurry. I'm more testing than I am actually doing it. But let's say you're a woman, you want to get into a good school, and you want to have get a good price. So for example, here's a list of the schools, and you see here's their ranking and their different size. Let's say you have no car. She has no car. So she's going to have to live in some kind of city environment where there's transportation. Let's take a look at what that looks like. I'm pausing it now. I'm going to make these guys more important. So there we go. This is her preference. She wants cities, and she can't live in the towns. She can't live in the suburbs. She really needs to live in a city. When we run this, we're going to find that because of these preferences, because of these preferences, all the other columns reacted. For example, some of these universities fit her preferences. The negative ones did not fit. So you can see that Harding and Dartmouth all were in these areas, which she didn't want, towns and suburbs. And some of the larger universities, let's take a look. So we can see some of these were very good fits for her choices. We could even order it and see that these are the best choices. American, Boston, they fit her request, her bias for this degree of urbanization. So now we understand how things work. Let's have some fun. What we're going to do is, she's going to do the same thing. These ones here, no way. And I don't know if you can guess, but it's going to get very difficult to find schools that match these requirements. And you could put any column you want in here and play around wherever you want. Percent admitted women? Yes. Just increase your chances. They're not admitting women? Sorry, we're not so interested. Some of them are doing very good with the women. Doesn't matter. Any one of these, pretty good. So you can see it's a very nuanced, very personalized way of diving in here. You finished? No, there's still some more. Oh no. One more. Scholarships. Oh, scholarships are good. She's very smart. Scholarships hopefully are not a problem. Oh, this minus is. So, if they're not interested in scholarships, we're not interested in them. If they do like scholarships, that's great. We'll take all these over here. In the beta version, this is going to be instantaneous. You will see, as these things change, you will see these columns go instantly change to reflect it. But you can see the ticks have been moved. You see these ticks? They've been moved. We're moving them with these knobs the same way we'd move them right there on the screen. So we're moving them, but you would see them react. They haven't reacted yet to each other. Let's run this thing. Okay. Now you can see there are fewer and fewer schools able to match our criteria. For one reason or other, none of these schools here, even though they might be very well ranked, the other criteria is not going to fit. And the top ones are the ones where she's going to have the best fit. Now, like I said, we can also go on the screen itself to move some of these ticks. That works in some of these groups that are lookup. So you can see much easier with these groups what's going on than you can, for example, these regions. You don't really know what the regions are. But if you come over here and you expand this, you can see the regions. So right now, let's say that I can make it harder and harder and harder. I know that these top schools, a lot of them are going to be in this New England area. And I'm going to turn down this New England. As well as she's from the Southwest. That would be much better fit. And maybe some Southeast. And now you can see I'm doing the same things as over here. But at least on the puddle, you can see what's going on much clearer. Institution size category, let's have some fun with that. Let's say, well, nope, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to her whether they take a lot. There's a large or small. Is there anything else that I'm missing? ranking. Okay. I thought we did this. Here we go. Ranking is important. In that way. We can also have some fun and pick our own preferences. She's heard some great things about some of these schools. Let's take a look at the text here. So she's heard some great things about University of California, about this good. And Brown University. Better not say anything bad in case I'm trying to pitch to them. So all these schools here, she's heard. So you see this thing? So you can see it reacting. So she's going to put in her own preferences as well in this list. And hit run. And this is the final list. Now we've shuffled a little bit, so the better ranked universities have risen. You can tell by their size. How much preferred they are by Stringy. Finally, we can see at the end of it the relationships in terms of what else ends up rising. What else is she getting at? So, for example, we can see that in terms of ranking, this midpoint here, this part that's gone bigger is not the same as the part that's gone down. In fact, it's smaller. So what she's done is she's made it harder for the rankings to fit her selection. Likewise, we can see that a lot of these areas have actually gone down. She's made it tougher. But what's important is that she's ended up with a list of ones that do fit her requirements. And I want to draw your attention, just before we end this video, I do want to draw your attention to this area. Okay? This is not sorting, it is not filtering, and it is not grouping. Okay? What this area is biasing, or as we say, stringing. That's what we got going on here. None of this works. This is what works. And if you look at this, this is our patent. There is no way to express this mathematically or with code. This interface where people draw strings to show their biases, what they think is important and not, you need our patent to generate. So thank you very much. I hope you like the show. Please send me an email if you want